Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. Dr. Robinson here again. This time we're going to continue our studies talking about probability. Probability measures the chances of an event happening based on the number of possible outcomes. There it is in Espanol. Here's a note. Probability can be expressed as a fraction, decimal, or percentage. So keep that in mind. Sometimes with a state test, they'll start with a fraction and it'll be a decimal or percentage. So keep in mind probability can be one of those three. Here is the formula for probability. I have it in Espanol for my ELL students, and I'll be speaking English because my Spanish is not that good. So P parenthesis event. Event means uh, the thing that you are doing, whether you're spinning a spinner, uh, picking marbles, or picking a card or something. So that's the event, rolling dice or whatever event. The way you win is what counts. So you want the number of ways you can win what you need to win on the top of your fraction. Based on that, the bottom denominator will be the total possible outcomes. That means all the different things that could occur. So we're talking about total possible outcomes. So what you need to win over the total possible outcomes. And as I said, event is the activity of the probability. So depending on what you're doing. All right, so here's a number line that you should know because probability is between 0 and 1. So if you have a probability of 0, that means the event is impossible. If you have an event of 1, that means it's certain. So a probability of 1 means that it's 100% going to occur. Sometimes you run into an unlikely probability, and I apologize. Sorry about that. Sometimes you run into an unlikely probability of 25%. So that's not probable. Not likely is it going to happen. Half probability, equally likely. You've heard of 50-50. That's where they get that term. 50% is what they're saying because if you remember, probability can be a percentage as well. So you have a 50% chance of winning as well as a 50% chance of losing. Likely, notice the section of the pie that is colored in red. That means you got a pretty good chance, or a 75% chance, which is most likely probable, of you winning. And I mentioned certain, which means 100% chance of it winning. So let's look at some examples on how probability is played. Now, here's a game that you might have heard of. It's called Trouble. My brother was very, very good at this game, and I unfortunately was not. So, when we played the game Trouble, there was a number you had to pop in order to get out of the start gate. And if you remember that number, and if you said, yes, that's right, 6. 6 was the number in order to get you out. So, you had to pop a 6 on this pop-o-matic thing. So, I was not good at it. My brother, Loresisol, was very good at it. So, what are the chances of rolling a 6 on the cube with one roll? So, is it likely or is it unlikely? Well, for me, it was very unlikely. And again, let's look at the probabilities of getting a 6. So, let me write out P. And I don't know why I'm not writing. I'm not writing with this pen, so let's try a different pen. All right. P for probability. I want a 6. The way that I win is if I get that 6. So what do you mean? There's only one number that I need to get, which is a 6, out of all the possible numbers that are on the dice cube. There are 6 numbers on the dice cube. So I need to win, I need to get the 6. But I could get a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, or a 6. And if you notice, there are 6 different numbers that could be the total possible outcomes. But if I get a 6, I win. So that's why my probability would be 1 out of 6. So that is not likely. If I change that 1 out of 6 to a percentage by multiplying 1 6 times 100, I'll get 16.6 repeating percentage, which is 16 and 2/3 percent. So, hey, that's not a good chance of getting a 6. I guess that's why I didn't win very often. I don't know how he did it, my good brother. Well, what are the chances of rolling an odd number on this cube? So we know odd number is something we should know in our vocabulary. That's a number that you cannot divide by 2. It has a remainder with it. So odd numbers. So we want to roll an odd number on this cube with one roll. Well, let's take a look at what numbers are on the cube. I believe it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Those are all the numbers on the cube. I need the odd numbers, numbers that you can't divide by 2 evenly without getting a remainder. So 1, 3, and 5. Those are the odd numbers on a cube. So probability of getting an odd number would be 3 numbers that I would need to get, 1, 3, or 5. So 3 out of how many different numbers on the cube, though? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. There are 6 different numbers on the cube. And if I multiply this by 100 to get a fraction, to get my percentage, I'll get 50%. So I have a 50-50 chance of winning. So my odds are, or my chances of winning are A, I would say more probable. So if you picked A, you're in good shape. So you have a pretty good chance of winning, which is most likely getting at one of those odd numbers, 1, 3, or 5. All right? So I hope you're understanding what's going on so far. If you're not sure, rewatch the video and write down your questions and write me an email if you want, and I'll do right back. All right, so here's another question. This one has a container of 2 gray, 1 white, 4 black marbles. Without looking, if Erica chooses a marble from the container, which marble selection is unlikely? Now, if you remember from our vocabulary, unlikely means doesn't have a good chance of winning. It's like 0 or 25%. So how do we get these fractions out of that? Well, let's take a look. We got 2 gray, 1 white, 4 black. That's a total of 7 marbles. So 7. That's going to be my denominator. So I got a probability of 7. Now, which one is unlikely? Well, I'll look at the different ones. There are 2 gray, 1 white, and 4 black. It seems I have a lot of black marbles there. There are 2 gray marbles, but there's only 1 white marble. So 1 out of the 7. So I should say white, not 1 out of 7. Put my 1 over 7 out there. So my probability that's unlikely would be 1 out of 7. So that white marble would be the one that's kind of unlikely. And if you take your 1 out of 7, let me get my calculator for a change. Say 1, 7, move over, multiply that by 100. And let me back up a little bit. Times 100. Enter. That's lower than the other one. 14 and 2/7% chance of winning, of picking the white marble. That's not good. So that I will say is choice B, which is definitely unlikely, getting the white marble. So you won't have much success getting it. All right, so let's take a look at the next one. There it is in Espanol. Oh, I hope you're understanding what's going on. If you're not sure, rewatch the video. I got some more questions though. So here's a good one. And I want to put it in Spanish first. So here it is in Espanol. So my Spanish is not that good. So which marble is probable? Let's go back to English. So, likely. So we got the same marbles here. 2 gray, 1 white, 4 black. And Erica chooses a marble from the container. Which marble is likely? likely. That means which probably will happen. So I'm going to leave that one for you, excuse me, to figure out which one is likely, which one you'll definitely pretty much select. So let's keep going, see what else we got. All right, here's another one. Let's move that. A container has, again, 2 gray, 1 white, 4 black, so it's the same marbles. Without looking this time, Erica's going to choose a marble from the container. Which marble selection is, certain? There's an interesting word. So which marble is certain? So certain, remember, that means 100% chance of getting a marble. Well, certain, probability of certain. That means 100%. So which one is certain? Well, I could get if in order to win, I need one of these marbles that are in the container, gray or white or black. So if I get any one of those colors, I'm going to win. So it doesn't really matter which color I pick, I still win. So I'm going to look at my choices. I win if I get a gray, I win if I get a white, and I win if I get a black. So I'm going to go with choice D. Any color or all the colors, I win. So that was kind of a trick question there, uh, of certainty, because it really doesn't happen. It's called a sure thing, but you win any color you pick. All right. Well, there it is in Espanol. So I hope you're understanding what's going on. Let's keep moving. All right, here's a state question. Let me just show it in Espanol for a second. So there it is for you guys to read, and it's about some paper clips. So let's go back. A box contains paper clips of 3 different sizes. All right, so they're different sizes. The numbers of each size paperclip is listed below. So here we got small paper clips, 100 of them, 250 medium paper clips, and 150 large paper clips. I should add that up and see how many clips are in the bag. So let's clear this, or the box. So we got 100 plus we got 250 plus we got 150, and I believe that's 500 total of 500 paper clips. That's good to know because we're going to need that. That's going to be our denominator. So we have total of 500. So one paper clip is going to be selected at random. So that means they're not going to peek. They're just going to put their hand in the box and pull out one. What's the probability that the paperclip selected is either, we got a choice now, either small or medium? So probability of small, and then we got an or going on here, which means if we get those other ones, the medium, we're going to win. So let's take a look at the probability of small. There are 100 small clips out of a total of 500 total clips. So if I get one of the small ones, I win. But it says if you get a medium clip, so you're going to win. How many mediums were there? There were 250 medium clips. So let's put that out of 500. So if I get 100 plus the 250 medium, that's a total of 350 clips that I will win. As long as I don't get a large clip, I'm in pretty good shape. So that would be a total of 350. So 350 out of 500. This is calculator work because I'm going to multiply that by 100. And I don't. My answers are not a percent, which is good. So I don't have to worry about multiplying by 100, but you can if you're interested in the percent. So let me get my calculator. Clear this. I got 350. An ABC button for you guys. I have a different calculator over 500, and this will simplify it hopefully for me. And I have to press my simplification button, so simplify that, And your calculator is probably better than mine. You can simplify better. And it says simplify. I'm getting closer to my answer. 7/10. And I see 7/10 out down there. Just let me simplify one more time to make sure I'm simplified. Yes. So there is my answer. 7/10. So I'll move that over here. So D, 7/10. And there it is. So that was a good state test question. And I hope you understood what we did. All we did was just take a look at the small and medium paper clips, see how many we had of those, which was a total of 350. And we put that out of the total amount of paper clips in the whole box, which was 500. So 350 divided by 500 gave us a total 7/10 once we simplified it, which was choice D. Pretty good. So, oh, all right. So Peter will roll a number cube labeled 1 to 6, a total of 90 times. What is a good prediction of the number of times the number cube will land on a 5? All right. Well, and as I said, uh, we want to roll this. Let me get my pen tool. We want to roll this thing. And what's a good prediction of number of times the cube will land on a 5? So he wants a 5. Well, how many 5s on a dice cube? Just one out of 6 numbers. That's if you are just looking for a 5. But this guy has done it a total of 90 times. So he's doing it more than one time, which introduces us to a counting principle. So if you want to take a look at my other video on the counting principle or compound events, that'll talk a little bit more in detail about that. But we're doing this 90 times, and so the key word is times. So I'm going to multiply 1/6 times 90 because he's doing it 90 times, and let's see what we get. So let's clear this out. Move this over just a little bit, Dr. Rob. 1/6 times 90. And that'll give us a reasonable theoretical answer of 15. So he should get 15 5s. So I would say 15. That's the amount of times he would land on it. And there it is. 15. So he should do it. But we really don't know if he's going to get 15 unless we actually did something called experimental probability. What that means is actually doing an experiment by taking a dice cube and rolling it 90 times to see what you really get. Will you get 15? And that's a nice experiment that I like to do, which introduces you to what's called experimental probability when you're actually doing something to see what comes out. So that's the fun part of probability. And in class, we're going to be actually rolling a cube, see if this works out for anybody, if they'll get 15 5s. So this is a very nice subject. I love probability. And we even have a question here about jelly beans and the probability of getting orange jelly beans. So take a look at it because I'm going to stop right there because I'm ready for the other probability, experimental probability. So I hope you're doing good with what's going on in the video. If you're not sure, rewatch the video and write down your questions, bring them in, and I'll be glad to answer them in class. And that's it for today. Remember, if you need help with your homework, there's Dollar Teacher Homework Helpline at 212-777-3380, Monday to Thursdays, 4 p.m. to 7 p.m. Give them a call. They're very helpful. Watch our study videos on YouTube. My channel name is Dan Robinson, PKMS, Peekskill Middle School. Subscribe to my channel. Give us a thumbs up if you like what we're doing. Write us a comment. I do write you back. And let me know what I can do better to help you even more. Check out our latest release, PKMS Math Prep 22. Good movie. Check it out. And you can tweet me at drobmath1. Don't forget to watch our show Math Time on Tuesdays from 4:30 p.m. to 5 p.m. on Optimum Cablevision, only in Peekskill, on Channel 15. If you would like a worksheet on the topic that we just done, write me at drobinson@peekskillschools.org. There's a little snapshot of what we did in Math Prep 22, the game show, so check it out. Good movie. So I hope you enjoyed probability, a little intro to it. So I'm going to call it quits for today. So, ladies and gentlemen, Dr. Robinson saying, have a good day, signing off. Bye-bye.